Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to the Tiltify Charity and Creator Chat. I'm so glad that everybody's here. First of all, can you get a sound check? Hello, Marpek in chat. Thank you, our lovely mod. Sound, how do we sound? Do you hear us? Good?
Should we speak
Yeah.
too?
We
Yeah,
should probably talk too.
Go ahead, everybody talk.
We should be part of the sound check
Hi, friends.
experience.
Hello.
Yes. You
Hello.
know, I always love how just how informal streaming can be, especially on this platform. Is like, and things are going to break, and it's inevitable. So if it doesn't break, you're probably doing it wrong, or you're probably not streaming. Probably should start streaming.
You can't stream without 10 things breaking all at once.
That's right. Well, if folks are just having a view, I'm Lou. I'm Director of Community Experience here at Tiltify, which means I get to help provide all the amazing tools and resources to the to our community, or the fundraisers who raise for thousands of causes on our platform. Joined today with some amazing people that I'm honored to be able to bring on the show for a couple of reasons. One of the reasons is we're celebrating Extra Life being on Tiltify. Extra Life being the I should probably know what Extra Life is, Bethany, right? I, of all people, should probably know what it is.
Where's your elevator pitch?
I'm so excited. Extra Life is a fundraising program for Children's Miracle Network hospitals where it engages and unites gamers from across the globe. Seriously, it's all over the world. People support kiddos in North America through this amazing fundraising program. I have a history with it, if you didn't know, and I came from Extra Life, and I get to have the honor of introducing Bethany, who's the Director of Community Experience there. Is that your official title?
That's the official title. You nailed it. And I couldn't have said it better myself, Lou. Thank you.
Bethany, welcome.
Thank you.
We also wanted to bring in, we always like to talk to the staff from the charity, but we also like to talk to creators and the people who really make Tiltify so special by making us a better platform through their feedback and usage, and just inspiring us in general. To introduce Smirky.
Hi, that's me.
That's you. So if you didn't know, he's being very, very modest. I don't know if he's nervous or anything, but
Nope.
Smirky he's not nervous. All right,
Just
Smirky,
happy to be here.
Smirky, tell us about tell us about you real quick. Give us your 10-second push.
Yeah, 10-second push. Okay. I'm content creator, been streaming on Twitch since 2015-ish. Also a college student, wrapping up this December my Bachelor of Arts in Communication Studies. And so basically balancing content creation and student life, and charity fundraising on platforms like Tiltify has been a huge part of that.
That's amazing. Hey, that's my undergraduate. I studied communications. I studied theater, believe it or not. That's what I studied. So, Smirky, so great to have you. And Thick 44 with the who's with the Neebs Gaming group. I'm gonna let you, Thick, go ahead and or is it okay to just call you just Thick, or Thick 44? Do I have to include?
I mean, you don't have to include the 44 for brevity's sake. Yeah, I'm Thick 44 from Neebs Gaming. Probably the most handsome out of the group. They're not watching, so they don't like me. It's okay.
Can't imagine why.
Content creator and streamer since probably the 1800s now. A long time, but we've been using Tiltify for quite some time now as well.
Yeah.
So, and it's made our job easy, and it's super fun. So we thank you guys for having that platform.
Thank you. Well, we're not quite at the compliment part of the stream. We save that for the end, for the good feels. But thank you, Thick. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
No.
Brownie points.
No, you're not kidding. Like Neebs Gaming, just that you were one of our top fundraising groups on Tiltify last month. So definitely amazing, and definitely excited that you're interested in supporting Extra Life for Children's Miracle Network hospitals. So if you're just arriving here and you don't know what we're talking about, first of all, if you don't know what Tiltify is, you can hit the Tiltify command in there. But we're a fundraising platform made for fundraisers. We definitely want to give you the tools to be the the best fundraisers in the industry. So that's what we do. But we're here to talk to Bethany for a bit about Extra Life and Children's Miracle Network Hospitals. Tell us a little bit more about what Children's Miracle Network Hospitals does and how Extra Life kind of fits into that picture.
I'm almost nervous to start talking because you have such a history with Extra Life. I'm like, what am I going to say? And is Lou going to grade it? And he's going to correct me.
No.
So
not on stream.
Thanks. Appreciate it. I appreciate the critique post-stream. Did you know that 1 in 10 children in North America are treated at a Children's Miracle Network hospital?
I did not know that.
Isn't that an incredible statistic?
That's incredible.
So I'm not going to say, I was about to say something that I shouldn't say about other charities. Like there are children who go from certain hospitals and eventually go to a CMN hospital to be treated once they're out of that other hospital. So we are treating kids too. My 2 kids have been treated at Children's Miracle Network hospitals over the course of their life. And I'm nervous because I'm in front of you and you know so much about hospitals. But Extra Life is the gaming arm for fundraising for Children's Miracle Network hospitals. We also have Dance Marathon, which is across campuses, college campuses and high school campuses all over America. We have Play Yellow, which is for those golfers, those people. I see you and your golfers and your dog. And we have Extra Life, which is the gaming portion. I'm forgetting one. Oh my gosh, my nerves are getting to me and I'm forgetting. There are 4. There's Extra Life, there's Play Yellow, there's Dance Marathon. And then there's like official Children's Miracle Network hospitals with like the big partners with like Costco and Panda Express. And then there's Extra Life, which is very much a grassroots fundraising that Lou was a part of, that Lou helped really evolve and create. I'm giddy that I get to do this with you today.
Well, I think what I loved, and here I'll throw you a line here, just to give us some love there. No, I think you touched on something though, like children's hospitals across the children's hospitals that are part of the Children's Miracle Network hospitals. There's a lot of hospitals. A lot of hospitals, treat the whole child, anywhere from like the broken bone, all the way up to to cancer and life-threatening diseases. But there's also hospitals that focus on research. There's hospitals that focus on psychiatric health for kiddos. So the cool thing is, though, is like, I think, I mentioned there's 170 hospitals in North America. And so there's likely going to be a hospital that affects your community, which is what I've always loved about them. It's what got me into Extra Life many years ago, was that I have a local hospital here in Colorado, and I could go to that hospital and I can see like, oh, I'm making an impact on this community and families in this community, which makes people really passionate about the program.
I think you just hit the nail on the head, because the reason I got involved with Extra Life was because my kids were treated at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. We lived in Atlanta, and then I discovered there was a guild for Children's Healthcare of Atlanta, and I got to be really involved. And like, we had an amazing post-game day event at the hospital, and we got to meet the miracle child that was like the face of CHOA for that year. And it was such an incredible experience. I looked at my husband and I was like, I want to do this forever. I want to be a part of this for forever, where we can contribute to the community around us. And every hospital has its own community vibe. Every dollar that's fundraised is going to your local hospital. And what better way to be able to give back to the people around you than to be fundraising specifically for Extra Life, because it goes to your hospital that you hope you never have to take your children to, but if you do, it's right there.
It's there. No, it has a sense of identity to it once you really connect that your funding, your fundraising affects it. Smirky, I know you fundraised for Extra Life previously, correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
What's your local hospital?
That would be, there's actually 2 near me. There's Children's Medical Center in Dallas, and there's Cook Children's Hospital in Fort Worth.
Okay, fantastic. No, that's great. So which one are you supporting this year on Tiltify? Nudge, wink, wink.
So I'd probably, last time I fundraised for Extra Life, I was supporting Children's Medical Center in Dallas. So it would either be that one, or I would maybe hop over to Cook's Children. But I have really good options. I've been to the Children's Medical Center in Dallas before. It's a really big facility there, and they have so many great things inside that hospital that like engage the kids. So it's really cool for me as someone who had been to the hospital to then use my love for video games to like actually give back to that community. So
No, that's
yeah.
phenomenal. Hey, Thick, I know we were chatting earlier about having kids. Have you any experience with the Children's Miracle Network Hospital before?
I have not. This is going to be like, so Bethany, we're going to be doing a stream with you guys. I think that's our first stream together.
Yeah.
Which we're really excited about. But yeah, I've not had any experience with that. So I'm excited to get involved though, because yeah, when you, for example, like recently I saw a child who was a cancer patient and I was like, no, that doesn't need to be something, but we need to make sure that that child gets the best care possible. Let's do it. So whenever I think of, anytime we do charity streams, I think of those personal experiences. And then so we're excited to launch our first one with Extra Life.
Yeah, we're excited to have you. Now, Neebs Gaming, you said that you've been involved with, a lot of, charity before. What's some of the history behind Neebs Gaming? And then like, how did you get, how is fundraising a part of your culture?
Okay. So first off, I started all of the fundraising because we've done a lot of bad things. So we need to get into heaven somehow. No, but and then so I think it was like a birthday stream. Like my birthday stream was our first charity stream, and I'm like, hey, I'm the guy. I rub it in their faces that they don't do charity birthday streams. But seriously, like once we were at a point where we were doing fairly well, we were like, hey, let's give back because we love our community. We're very close with them, and we hear a lot of stories. Whether it's someone going through cancer or they need some sort of help, and we try to give back as much as we can, because at some point in time, like you get this Superman thing where everybody's asking you to do something for them personally, but it's like, hey, why don't we just have this like big thing that we can do for hurricane relief or cancer research or whatever it is that sort of encompasses everything. And that's kind of snowballed into an annual thing. And now actually I believe this year we're going to have 3 or 4 charity fundraisers, and that's going to be the most we've done.
No, that's impressive. That's very impressive. So if you were to, so you say Neebs Gaming does bad things, you still do bad things? Like should we even have you on this broadcast? I mean, it's
a coin toss at this point. Like, depends on who you're talking to. Today, I think we're fine.
What sort of content can you give us a PG-13 version of your content?
Well, our content is gameplay, basically in the cinematic realm. So we take a lot of survival games and we make them look like TV shows or movies. We add sound design, scoring, the whole nine. We actually sort of blew up because of Battlefield. We made an animated series called Battlefield Friends, and that blew up. And then we had some success with survival games like Ark, 7 Days to Die, and so forth. And there's been a bit of an evolution. And without saying too much, we may be going back to our roots a little bit without it being, it's just 5 guys trying to make it through survival games right now. And
awesome.
it normally doesn't go well for us. So
well,
people get to laugh.
Content, right?
Yeah, and laughter is the best medicine.
That's great. So Smirky, you said that you're finishing up school, right? And how, I don't know how you would do that. Like I remember university and like not having time to do that. Like how do you have time to do that? And then why? What drove you to be a content creator?
I ask myself that half the time, to be honest, because there's no real like perfect balance for me between like managing all the commitments that come with the student in the classroom, in organizations that I do, and then also trying to like manage being a content creator as well. But I've found a way to make it work, just learning time management and things like that. So when it came to like charity fundraising, so I would see myself kind of like take advantage of like my breaks, like summer, for example. That's when I would get into things. So like, uh, and even then during the like semesters, just kind of like, I don't know. I have a planner, so I just kind of like write out everything, and I'm like, okay, from this time to this time, I'm doing a charity stream or whatever. So, I guess that answers your question.
Yeah, it does answer the question. You don't have to rub it in saying that you're organized. Like that's not fair. Like you can't pull that. You can't. I appreciate that you're organized because you're able to join us today. What is your game of choice? What was the game that got you to be like, I think I should let other people watch me play this game?
Okay, my history dates back to my childhood obsession with a game called Toontown, which used to be like a Disney MMO from way back in the day. Yeah. And now it still goes on as like private servers that fans have run. So it's basically like entirely, by the fans and for the fans essentially. So
okay.
I still, even to this day, dabble with my childhood obsession. And when I kind of realized I could take, my love and, the community I had built for, that game and use it for good, that's when I started looking to like, platforms like Tiltify to start fundraising. And the result has just like blown all expectations out of the water when it comes to like fundraising on Tiltify and for organizations as well, like extralife.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. Bethany, you and I have known each other for years now, and we usually see each other on like the show floor, right? Or
Right.
like crossing the hall, like oh hi, I've got to eat, I've got to do something quick. But you have a background in gaming. Like you worked at crowd control for a bit. Talk about like your journey into this particular role just a little bit, and what you're excited about for Extra Life this year, besides being on Tiltify.
Besides being on Tiltify, which is so exciting. I have a small edit. I worked at Control Freak, not Crowd Control. Still control, but still.
It's the alliteration. Yeah, I gotcha. Thank you. Sorry.
Okay.
Thanks for clarifying.
So I was at Haste and I made friends with Control Freak. Haste is a software internet platform for like making things faster. Anyway, I was at Haste, made friends at Control Freak, and they're like, hey, you should come do a 24-hour stream with us for Extra Life. And I was like, that sounds terrible and amazing. I'm in. And so we started rounding up like brand partnerships. We started getting involved, like getting other friends involved, like, hey, GameStop, do you want to donate some gift cards for people to, for donor incentives? And we did this incredible, exhausting 24-hour stream that we were just reminiscing on in like a MarkCom meeting right before this stream, talking about how stressful and fun 24-hour streams are. And I told you, like, we had that post-game day event right after, and I was like, I want to do this for forever. So then there was like a PUBG event right after that, and I rounded up some friends. We started doing like PUBG streaming for Extra Life. But between Haste, Control Freak, a short run at Limited Run Games, and then Ubisoft, now I'm at Extra Life. And Extra Life has been something that I've always told people, like, hey, this is my dream job. If this ever opens up, I would love to be here because I love this charity so much. It's so near and dear to my heart. And not just because of my children. I've seen the impact of what it can do for your local kids. And I'm so excited for game day because this year we will be hitting our $100 million raised mark, which is, I can't process that number. It's so big.
That's absolutely amazing. No,
it's so much money.
It's been a big journey. Like I mean, every year, breaking records. And so we're excited to be a part of helping break that record as well. So
yes,
it's amazing. You touched on something, a couple of things that, first of all, is like how you fundraise for Extra Life. Like historically, that was how Extra Life came onto the scene. If you didn't know already, was play for 24 hours. And that was the founder, the creator of Extra Life's, great idea. we were all much younger then. Like he was much younger then, and that sounded like a good idea, but it caught on, right? But people have run with it. What are some of the fun things that you've seen people, do to fundraise, outside of a 24-hour marathon, whether it's like an incentive or, a good shtick, it's open for anybody who's seen it, maybe specific to Extra Life. And then maybe we'll shift into like other cool things that you've done, like, Thick, maybe some cool stuff that you've done with, with some of your other fundraising.
I'll jump in and say thank you for saying let's do something other than a 24-hour stream, because like I'm too old for that. I know Thick 44 is way too old for that.
Yeah. It's actually my bedtime right now.
He's missing the Denny's.
Oh no.
Moon over my hammy lunch schedule. I have seen people do cooking streams. I've seen people use Facebook fundraiser. I personally have done bad tarot readings for $5. So if you donate $5, I'll pull a card from a tarot deck and give you a really terrible, funny reading. Like, you're going to meet a guy at 7-Eleven and he's got a fence and he's going to use that fence post to slash your tire. Don't go to 7-Eleven. Go to Circle K. Really. But people have dyed their hair. They've done, hey, I'm going to play this game and I never played it before, and I'm going to play it on a banana or with one hand tied behind my back. Or like, people are so creative in the Extra Life community, especially because there are things that I never would have thought of. I feel like one community member, like one team did a theater. Like they did something with acting, and I'm blanking on what it was, but it was like a beautiful production, and like funds raised went to Extra Life. That's amazing. You don't even have to play video games. It's whatever you play at that brings you joy. My kids are asking, like, what can we do for Extra Life? And I was like, you can play soccer, because I want them to go outside and play more. Or you can play Roblox, or you can play Minecraft. You can play Hades. You can do whatever it is that brings you joy. That's your version of play to fundraise. And your incentives can be anything from eating a Bean Boozled bean, which is disgusting. Don't do it. I mean, or do it, whatever. I'm a sign, not a cop. Or you can shave your head, or you can give bad tarot readings. Like, it can be anything that brings your community joy to bring in those dollars for your local kids.
Smirky, thank you, Bethany. It's something we can continue talking about, like how you can fundraise, not only for Extra Life, but just in general. Like, I think that since we're on Twitch, we're all from the gaming space, that goes, the first thing is like, well, if I'm on Twitch or if I'm live streaming, then I have to play a game. But that's not necessarily the case, right? Even though most of us do play games while we fundraise, but that's not the point.
Just a piece
you
of
don't
the
have
puzzle.
to. You don't have to, right? Smirky, what are some of the cool things that you've done that you've enjoyed in fundraising, specific to Extra Life?
In terms of like incentives or things like that? Or...
Yeah, sure. What's your shtick or a gimmick that you think your community loved?
So thinking of like charity streaming, so yeah, Bean Boozled was definitely something I would do a lot. It always generates way more donations than you would ever imagine, and then you're just like so tired of eating all these beans. But it's always so great. Other things I've done too, I've like put on like I have like these like animal masks that I'll put on, and so I just look ridiculous on stream for like a few minutes. I've also like pied myself in the face countless times. It's kind of a shtick with Toontown anyway, just like throwing pies at bad guys. So that's something that a lot of people really like to donate for. Just so many fun little things to just get people interested in whatever cause I'm raising for, like Extra Life.
That's awesome. That's fantastic. Thick, what has Neebs Gaming found useful, or what have you made them do to raise funds? Or do you have are you lucky enough to have a community that's just like, here, have money for this cool thing you're doing?
Well, yeah, that's first and foremost. Our community is by far the most generous that I've ever seen, and they're so positive and they're diehard. So these are people that we know their stories. We see, we know their names. We see them come together all the time. So they are always very generous when it just comes to pulling together for a good cause. We don't show our faces. Again, too handsome. That's what Twitch said. That's what Twitch said. It's not my words. But back before the why are you laughing? Shut up.
Just keep going.
Yeah, okay. All right, listen. So we would do a lot of karaoke shenanigans, like almost like a karaoke roulette. So if we hit a benchmark, like one of the other guys would have to sing Dancing Queen by ABBA.
Don't lie, you love singing Jimmy Buffett. It's your favorite.
Stop it. I'll leave. I'll leave. I'll burn my own house down, I swear. No, I don't know why. But no, the karaoke thing has kind of gone away because, with Twitch, the music thing, and we can't. But again, we've got such an awesome community. They pull together constantly, and that's where we just, that's where we thrive.
That's awesome. You both you and Smirky talked about community and like how how your communities come forward to help you do charity charity endeavors and fundraising. What are if I'm a new creator, and I'm not, but I'm also not a creator. I'm not gonna do that. That ship has sailed. I do have a YouTube channel that my son loves to bring up that I was trying to be for one point, but
that's a good plug, Lou.
It is. I was like, but this isn't my coming spot as a YouTuber. And
he's gonna drop in chat.
I now have a new career. Sorry, Tiltify, you're on your own. No, definitely not. But what are some things you would suggest to someone who's just starting out creating, a community? It doesn't have to be around gaming, right? Like community is community. But what are some things that you were mindful of when you first started out? Excuse me, that was gross. When you first started out. Nothing but the highest level of professionalism on Tiltify.
We love it here. Yeah, I guess I'll answer this first. I guess what kind of comes to mind, like I started like out not knowing anything, and I just kind of like dove into it. And at first I wasn't even like trying to like build a substantial community. I was just like, hey, going live is fun. I just want to like share what I'm doing, and maybe a couple people will watch. But then it got to a point where I realized, oh, like I can build a community, and not just any community, but one that's like, positive and, philanthropic as well when it comes to like, getting them on board with charity. So when it comes to like starting out with building a community, first of all, just try not to set your expectations like too high. Like don't expect like overnight success. Like it takes time to build a community. And it also takes time, to get into things like charity streaming as well. So it like you may have like some really awesome like support come in, but just also don't underestimate like the value of like a single dollar donation that comes in, because like every single dollar like adds up. So anytime that an alert goes off when you're fundraising with the community, for example, that's something worth celebrating, regardless of what the message says or how much money is donated at the time. I think that's just something that a lot of people really miss out on, because people get intimidated whenever they see like X creator fundraised X amount of money. So, how in the world would I ever, measure up to that success? But you can have success even if your campaign raises $5, $10, $20. I always think that's important pointing out, and I totally just went on a tangent, but
no, you did, and I love it. I think you touched on something that was important to mention is like your contribution matters, because don't compare yourself to the other creators, because you're coming in for the charity. You're coming in like if you're fundraising for Extra Life, and you should fundraise for Extra Life.
Yes.
On Tiltify, you can do that right now. The command in chat, do that. Command in chat, somebody please. Do it. That's $1, that's $10, that's $50, $100, whatever, that the charity didn't have before. That's that is a thing. Like it could be preemie diapers at the hospitals. They're like $3 to $5 each one. So imagine those little preemie babies. They're little, but they go through diapers. So they're still babies, so they still poop a lot. So they need a lot of those diapers. So you're helping that small part of another community. Don't underestimate your impact. That's a good point. Good tangent, Smirky. I didn't even plan for that tangent. It's good.
It just happened. So here we are.
Nice.
So organic synergy.
I know, right?
Yes.
So nice. Thick, what are some things, your early lessons learned when starting out with Neebs Gaming and that in your community? I see some of your community here, so I don't know if you have to be careful about not naming names.
Wait a minute. It's here now.
I've got a lot of friends in here. Yeah.
No, honestly, when we started off, we made it a point to engage with everybody and be authentic. And I think engagement really it's the foundation of building a community. So even if you're a streamer or a YouTuber and you've got 10 followers and one of them comments on a video, engage back with that. Now, I will say although we don't have a lot of negativity in our, comments or wherever, we don't many times engage with the negativity, but again, most of it's positive. We'll engage with feedback, but we're always in the chat just talking to people, and that's how we know their stories. That's how we can reference back to, I remember when you first subscribed to us on Twitch 100 years ago. So it's I think engagement is the foundation of building a solid community and one that'll continue to come back.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I think, engagement, but then you added something that I like is like accessibility and authenticity. And like, especially if you're managing communities, because as a content creator, you usually don't have your own community manager managing your community. You're doing that work yourself. So first of all, pace yourself, don't burn out. I'm looking at you, all my content creator friends. Be careful with that energy to being accessible, but you do need to be accessible, because your community they want to be kind of almost vulnerable with you and celebrate with you in those moments. It's pretty amazing. That's fantastic. Well, cool.
You just said something so good, Lou, about that accessibility and vulnerability, though. Like, I think we're at a point in the year of our Lord Cthulhu in 2021 where we can now say, like, hey, I'm burned out. I need a break. And the community rallies around the individual who says that. I'm seeing that on Webtoons, because I proudly read Webtoons every day. I'm seeing that with YouTube creators. I'm seeing that with Twitch creators, with, meme accounts on Twitter. If they're like, hey, I need a break. Yeah. There's this rallying cry of like, yes, your health matters. And people are encouraging individuals to take a break. Like, hey, you've been tweeting since 3 a.m. this morning. Are you good? Like, there's this check-in in the community. And when you have that authenticity and vulnerability with your community, they can give it back to you. And that's so important, because your mental health matters. Your physical health matters.
I definitely had that experience myself, actually, over the summer. I was like, hey, y'all, I need to like take a step back. There's a lot going on in my life. And I was just struggling to cope mentally. So that does, touch upon like, whenever you're vulnerable and authentic with your community, it really does resonate with them. And especially when it comes to things like the mission of Extra Life and sharing that in like an authentic manner, I think that also just like spearheads a lot of the efforts that have led to moments like this.
For sure. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. I think that the I just said absolutely, and last week Steven Spawn said that's his word that he says all the time. So now every time I say absolutely, I'm going to think of Steven Spawn. Oh, jeez. Okay, but I agree. I think that you see that's what we see on a regular basis, especially in the charity and the fundraising spaces. The people who find the most success and get the most out of it are those who have an authentic and meaningful connection to the cause. They're passionate about their local community. They had it, for Extra Life, maybe they had a kid or a relative who went through it. Maybe they had gone through, experienced a Children's Miracle Network hospital, from the start. Maybe they lost someone who was getting treatment at a hospital too. I mean, the stories are all out there, and they're powerful, and having authentic connection. It's significant, and I think we see that on a regular basis of the different types of people who come forward to fundraise for a cause. there's certain like heroic archetypes almost that they can fit into, and it's pretty exciting to see that. I'm going on a tangent now. Dang, Smirky. It's
no, please go on the
contagious.
tangent because I want you to talk about tank class and support class and beats.
There you go.
I want to hear it. Let's have this
Why?
conversation.
No, yeah, it's true. No, then we'll start talking about my Final Fantasy 14 obsession, and then we'll go somewhere else. It's a problem. I'm only on the free trial, so I don't know.
Ooh.
I don't know. I don't know.
How much room for growth there? We love tangents. We love them.
Tangents. I did see a couple of comments in the chat of just regarding. There's one I saw that I loved. Is regarding incentives, things to do. I think Vivi is in chat. Hey Vivi, yay! Hello Canada, how are you? She says she's saying, or they said that they sang "Country Roads" on and on and on until several times in a row ad nauseum. And that's enough. I love the song. Big John Denver fan, but that's a rough one. That's a rough one.
That's an interesting one because he could do it like, all right, if someone donates this, then I have to start singing X lyrics repeatedly until someone maybe, I don't know, donates for you to stop. Or
I love it. Yeah,
that's a really interesting idea I never thought of. So
you can set up. Yeah, you can set up a target. I know Mocha Marpek, you're in chat. Get these notes. They're going to go in our best practices article. I love it. Cool. Well, all right. So I have some fun questions that I want to ask you all. The first one is, it seems weird, but it's going to take you back for a moment. Think of when you were a kiddo, you were small. What's the smell that you can still, good or bad, that you can still like pull forward, you're like, I remember that smell so distinctly that I can still smell it.
I got one.
Yes.
I got one. Bread being made in Spain. That's where my mom's from. When I was a kid, I went there. I mean, this was like when I was 4 years old, 3 and 4 years old. And I vividly remember that smell. And then when I go there, it's like, yep, there it is. So bread being made in Spain.
I thought you were going to say gunpowder from World War II.
Yeah. Right. Well, you could reference soup when you invented it.
Did you say soup?
Yes.
That was so random.
Yeah.
I was also going to hop on the bread train. Like my mom would make like bread that anytime I go over and pick up the smell, I'm like, that's the smell right there. So.
All right, bread. All right.
Yes.
Stephanie.
Bread.
This is weird. My siblings are all a lot older than me. They were born in the 1800s. I was born in the early 1900s, much like Tony. And we had this book that was ancient. It was really like from the 1960s or 70s. So it was already a couple of decades old by the time I got to it, but it was a Christmas book and it was like a scratch and sniff book. And it was like, you could scratch and sniff for like the tree, and you could scratch and sniff for the candy cane. And I so distinctly remember the hot chocolate smell, specifically because I was so disappointed that it didn't smell like hot chocolate. It just smelled like a book. And I was like, it just smells like a book. I want real hot chocolate. So it's books, but it's hot chocolate, but it's books.
Okay. I thought you were going to say that every scratch and sniff spot smelled like licorice. Because it's from the 1960s. I don't know.
You were there. I wasn't. I don't know anything about the 1960s.
I think I made the book. I just saw licorice.
In your printing press.
Yeah.
Chat is responding. Yes. And chat, if you have some of these, I want to read them too.
Seriously.
It looks like a good one. We have Vivi says rotten watermelon.
Oh gosh.
That sounds really terrible. I don't think I've ever seen a watermelon get rotten. They usually just get eaten.
I don't think I want to know what that looks like.
That sounds awful and wasteful.
Yeah, right. Nightblade 2001 cooked mustard. Cooked mustard. Grandmother, house smelled like it. Grandmother was from Germany, and her house smelled like that often. Okay, all right. Cooked mustard.
Cooked mustard.
Okay. Yeah,
Did you know that your sorry.
No, what?
Did you know that your olfactory sense is the strongest tie to memory?
I
So
did know that.
Your sense of
Yes.
smell is
Okay,
what
Bethany
takes you
just
back.
dropping the bombshell on us right now.
See,
Yeah.
this is like, man, we're vibing here because I didn't even tell you I was going to ask you that question, and now you're dropping that knowledge. Here, I got to tell Nightbot to get on the right week. Hold on one second.
If
all right,
I had a mutant superpower, it would be, unfortunately, my super sniffer, because I can smell stuff really well. It's a super lame superpower.
Oh, okay. So you can smell really well, and you wish you couldn't. Is what you're saying?
Right. I don't want to smell all the things. I'm good.
All right. Let's see. Where are you? Oh, here. I gotta turn that off. Disable. All right. There you go. Now Nightbot will behave itself.
What's your smell memory?
My smell memory. I think my favorite. I don't know if it's my favorite, but it's definitely one I remember. Is my great grandparents had like a split level house, and you go downstairs, and both had kitchens, but the one in the basement had a root cellar, but it was well maintained, but like that smell of like earth and like dried goods was just like, it reminds me of like family and get-togethers and like getting in trouble, and that's like I would go to hide in the root cellar, like if I did something bad, and it wasn't like there's also nowhere to hide, like you just walk in, and like that, I wasn't a clever child. I would never claim that, but
pickle jar.
Pickle, like, yeah, I'm a pickle. Yeah, no, no. That's probably be my choice. Is my great grandparents' house in North Denver. Cool. All right, let's get a little bit like existential, maybe. If this, I don't know if this is an existential question, but I'm gonna ask it anyway. How would you want to be remembered?
As the guy who stayed alive forever, along with his dog. Yeah, I don't. Yeah. No, I don't know.
That is really deep, Lou.
Yeah. Wow.
I should have given you guys some lead time on this. You're welcome.
I feel like one of the things I do want to be remembered is for doing charity, philanthropic work things. I think this is something that I do want to be remembered for, just as a starting point.
Yeah. No, it's good. It's a good place to start.
I guess I guess in general, just making lots of people happy and making them laugh, making their day better.
I already know that you do that for your community. I'll be nice to you for once. You make your community so happy. You bring everyone so much joy, and you are known for being such a giving individual. At E3 one year, we ran into each other, and he yelled obscenities at me on the street, and I ignored him because I had just set up our booth and I was exhausted. And I was like, wow, that guy's really rude. And then I looked back and I was like, oh, it's one of my best friends. Great. But then after we left, I was talking to one of my coworkers, and I was like, that guy will give you the shirt off his back if you ask for it. He's just one of the best guys. And he was like, I don't know. He just told you needed to go back to an island with a certain ill repute. He didn't actually say that. He said the whole word, but it's a Twitch stream. I'm being PG right now. And I was like, yeah, that's just how he talks. That's how I talk to him too.
That's my way of affection.
Right. It's our love language. Cruelty.
Yeah.
I think I would want to be remembered for not just memes and really great jabs, because I can be pretty mean. I think a lot of it is that philanthropy piece, like wanting to be able to give back and leaving something better than when I found it, whatever that may be. Like, I just want to leave things better than they were when I found it. Like my fat dog, who really wants attention right now. Hi, fat dog. He's not better than when I found him. He's fatter.
What was this about, leaving things better than how you found them?
He had so much fudge and brownies. I didn't give it to him. He stole it, and he's still here. So obviously,
well, that's good. Oh wow, that's phenomenal. Oh, that's great. If you're in chat and you were curious about Extra Life and Children's Miracle Network Hospitals, now we have about 10 minutes left in today's chat. Please drop questions in. Like, if you have questions about like how do I do the thing on Tiltify so I can get signed up for Extra Life? Or, hey, tell me more about this Extra Life thing. I want to know even more about Extra Life. How many times can I just add Extra Life into the question? And if you have questions about Tilt's Miracle Network Hospitals, or maybe how else you can get involved beyond just fundraising, because there's other ways to help out your community and communities around you through Children's Miracle Network Hospitals, let us know. If you have questions, go for it. We're here for you. Even the preceded questions that I asked my mods to put in, now's the time. Put those in the chat. Do that now.
Throw your voice. Pretend like you're a viewer.
No, pretty much at this point, Miss Ashrocks is never going to let me broadcast again. So there you go. That was my plan all along. Just like, yeah, I joked. I think last week or the week before. I'm like, oh, I've never been on the broadcast before. It's just like, nah, I'm just.
We've got a good question from Nightblade. Is there a place that lists the people streaming for Extra Life? You could always do that search on Twitch. You can just do Extra Life, and it will pull up who's actively streaming. Another great place is our Discord, where you can find our community members who always drop their streams when they're going live. They drop it on our Twitter as well. But Discord is a really great place to get to know the Extra Life community, to learn best practices, to engage with other community members. And you can also find your local guild members by joining different regions of the Discord channels. It is discord.gg, Extra Life 4 kids.
Awesome. Another cool way to do it, like if you want to see what other people are doing on Tiltify fundraising for Extra Life, if you head to that link, you'll see people who are active and or have had recent donations. So that is kind of how that little algorithm works. So if they're active and had recent donations, they're going to be up top. Or if they were recently active and have a recent donation, they're going to be there. So you can find other folks, who are fundraising there as well. We just launched this officially last week, and then re-announced it again earlier this week. So definitely head over there, find a local children's hospital you want to support, and get your name up on the boards. We want to see, who's going to reach the top, who's going to be the top of the Tiltify leaderboard. Right now, and I'm just going to throw a gauntlet down between Thick and Smirky. Who has it? Is it Neebs Gaming or is it Smirky? Who's got it?
I don't know. I think we'll have to just wait and see.
Find out next time.
Yeah. That's like Beyblade level, compare the stats. Yes, I said Beyblade.
Yeah. Wow.
So relevant.
I wish my son was here, because then he would come and sing the Beyblade song. He knows all of them. Apparently, there's more than one. If you didn't know,
there were songs. I just happened to have all the toys that aren't mine. They're not mine.
So let me see. So Nightblade asks, is there a date set for Neebs Gaming Extra Life stream?
There is, and that date, let me go to my calendar, which is not made of paper, Bethany.
Stretch skin from animals.
What?
From many years ago. I don't know how
scroll.
I just wrote it on my cave wall. No, it is.
Well, but you can't see it until the sun comes up, because you haven't figured out fire yet. So
it is November 4th. No, I see it right here. It's November 4th.
It took you you were like, Alexa, what's a calendar? You pulled up your calculator first.
Sometimes I like to pull my calendar back to many years ago. We're holding it in 1976, November 5.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah.
That's the weekend of Extra Life Game Day. So yeah, I'll be starting up a stream November 6th when I
cool.
Awesome.
Get back from school stuff, because that's my life right now. But I will pitch in, and then we shall see who prevails.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like a great MMA we got to make a visual asset for this. I'm gonna go get paint.
Got to make it pay-per-view.
Yeah.
I like that.
Defeats
Like
the
I'm
purpose, but-
taking that note.
Oh, we could. Yeah.
Pay for Extra Life.
Yeah,
Support
Pay
it.
per view, but pay for Extra Life.
exactly.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just as a shout out to all the other individuals who aren't necessarily content creators but do want to stream and fundraise for Extra Life on our wonderful platforms, you can stream or play or fundraise anytime between now and December 31st. Game day is one single set day that we have as a celebration day for Extra Life fundraising, but that doesn't mean you can't do that now. You can start today, you can fundraise all the way through December 31st, and it will count towards your 2021 goals.
That's thanks for touching on that. When you do sign up for an Extra Life fundraising event for Children's Miracle Network Hospitals on Tiltify, you have an option to do several different things. You can choose live stream if that's what you're into, but if you're not into live stream, let's say you wanted to have do a fundraiser in honor of your birthday or in memorial of someone, or you want to do a walk run. Really, that there's tools there to allow you to choose how you want to fundraise. You don't have to play a game. You don't have to do 24 hours. You don't have to do it all at once. You can do it over the week, week over week. There's a link. You can get a QR code. You can put that in grocery stores, and people are like, "What's that? What is a QR code?"
With
then you
Lionel
show them.
Richie.
Yeah, exactly.
Hello.
There's all sorts of things you can do to support your fundraising. You don't just have to play games, like you said. I like that, Bethany. I think that's something that people don't know. It's like you don't have to have a platform. You don't have to be a content creator or a following or a huge community. Like my community when I first started fundraising was my mom and my dad, my auntie, and my wife. That was like my community. And my friends. I made them donate, but the people who were like invested in me
At gunpoint.
It's true. Yeah, absolutely. Always at gunpoint. That's actually in a best practices
Please don't
manual.
don't say that. That's terrible.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
Some
somewhere.
people call
It's
it
not-
robbery. You're walking the line.
I was just told
Sometimes
that's not.
You need a little hand, and it can be from your family. It can be from your friends. My mom just donated today. I just started my fundraiser up today because I was like, oh, I work here. Oh, wait, I work here. I have to get this up and running. And my mom immediately donated $25 because she's my mom. So it doesn't have to be, like you said, your following. It's people around you. It's your neighbors. It's your friends. I don't talk to my neighbors. I talk to some of my neighbors. They might be watching. I don't know. It can be anyone around you that you interact with, including your grocery store people with your Lionel Richie QR code sign. It can be whatever. It can be art streams. It can be art as incentives. It can be, hey, I'm going to do this sketch for you. And if you donate $25 to Extra Life, I'll color it. Like, it can be anything you want it to be.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, go ahead.
Oh,
Go ahead, Smirky.
Yeah, I was gonna say I wanted to touch on like local communities because like word of mouth is very powerful. Like it's a very powerful marketing tool. So I've gotten like involved with like student orgs that have like run Extra Life campaigns like on our college campus in the local community. So outside of the spectrum of being a content creator, I've also gotten to like the local level to like spread the word about causes like Extra Life.
Yeah, two things there. Like one first thing is like touching on like if you are like at in high school, at university, or if you or at a place of employment or a place of worship, all those places are good places to talk about fundraising. Like traditional fundraising is still a powerful tool. That's pretty much what digital fundraising is, just translated those asks and have made them even easier, right? So I think definitely good call. I have an employee or an employer who I worked for years ago, who I will still send a text message around Extra Life time, and I'll be like, "What's up? Time to donate." And then like he'll drop like over $1,300 on it every time. He's like, "Gotta help the kids," and I'm like, "Boom." And it's easy. All I had to do is just like send a text or shoot an email or do any one of those things. And then it goes back to employee matching. Does your employer match your donations? Don't forget to do that stuff either. That's a powerful way to increase your fundraising.
And for so many people, it can be difficult to ask for money to fundraise, but kids need help now more than ever. Your local hospital now needs help more than ever. Delta variant for COVID-19 is affecting children so much more than the original variant across the nation. Your hospital needs PPE, they need arm cuffs, they need preemie diapers, they need temperature thermometer covers, they need masks, they need everything, and every single dollar counts. So if individuals say, I'm not comfortable asking, there's no more time that's more impactful than now when your hospital needs money. So it's okay to get out of your comfort zone every now and then.
Yeah. It is, and then each one of the hospitals has different needs, and I think that's one of the more powerful things. I saw that that Mocha was asking in chat. You know, what does the money do? And that actually really does depend on your hospital. And so your hospital wants to. They love hearing from their fundraisers, and they want to tell you they have a breakout sheet where they can say, like, this is where the money goes, and they're always happy to share that. It has incredible impact. Well, we are coming up on the end of the hour in our conversation. I want to thank everybody for this chat today. It was exceeded expectations. 10-10, we would do it again.
Except for you, Tony. He was like, my expectations are 644, very low.
Yeah.
You know, I relate to the I relate to the elder and his wise words. So it's great.
I'm sorry.
Bethany, thank you so much for being here. We're so excited to have Extra Life and Children's Miracle Network Hospitals.
It's such a pleasure. I'm
on
so
our
excited
platform.
that we get to work together once again, Lou. Thank you.
Smirky, always good to see you. Always good to see your name.
Always.
Up on the boards, fundraising, see you on socials all the time. I appreciate all the support that you give to Tiltify, but more so all the support you give to all the causes and charities that you support.
Yeah,
Thick,
thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah. Thick, it was so great to meet you. So glad that we got to have some representation from Neebs Gaming here. And I had no idea that you were besties with Bethany. So at least that accounts for some taste. So that's good. That's good on your part.
It was it's like an arranged marriage, but like arranged friendship.
You're the worst.
Yeah, I didn't choose dog life.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I'm throwing hands.
Yeah, definitely click the link, follow us, follow all the things, check out Extra Life. Fundraise anytime you want, but definitely if you need a call to action November 6th, you see the link in chat. If you have any questions, let us know. We're on socials. We're click on all the socials. Oh, what you can do, and this is a self-promotion sort of, is head over to our TikTok. Like if everybody here in this chat right now, head over to our TikTok, help us get to 1,000 followers. You'll see the amazing our social media manager for most of them, and then today of all days, she made me do a TikTok. So you see my face, and then just you could ignore that one, but see all the other faces and engage with them. Follow us. If you didn't know, we're the official fundraising platform for TikTok. So if you're fundraising there and you see a sticker, maybe someday we'll get Children's Miracle Network Hospitals and Extra Life on it. Someday we'll see. We'll talk about it. See how that works out.
We can do that. Let's talk.
But here we are. That's the end of the hour. Thank you all so much. Chat, thank you so much. We're going to try to find somebody to visit because we have a good group of people. I'd love to share the love. Here, who else? Here, I know an easy way to do that. So what's the weekend look like? Let's talk about the weekend awkwardly while I'm looking for something to do over here.
What's everyone doing for Halloween? Because it's my favorite holiday and I want to talk about it with people.
Ooh.
I'm trying to think of some sort of costume. I really wanted to get a Mandalorian, like legit costume.
Well, there was one year that you were like, I'm going to be Darth Maul. I'm going to find an FX artist to do it. And then you just like, day of Halloween, you were like, hey, do you know any artists in my area? And I was like, are you kidding me?
Halloween sneaks up on me every year.
Because the date changes every year. It's never know what it's going to be. My husband wants to be the Kool-Aid man. He has like found a huge inflatable costume.
That's great.
Right.
I'm sure we'll spend our Halloween putting up like our Christmas decorations.
Oh, snap. It's that kind of party.
Because as soon as it's like that meme where it's like from October 31st, 11:59 p.m. to the November 1st at 11:59 p.m., like the screensaver just changes.
Like a store flip. That's wild.
Yeah.
All right, folks, we are visiting content creator and crafter Quiltoni. If you didn't know that, Quiltoni
Yes.
makes quilts.
Yay.
She's awesome.
She's totally awesome. I dropped the Tiltify raid text in there, so be sure you drop it into that here. We're gonna go give Quiltoni some love. Thank you again, everybody. This has been so much fun. Can't wait to see what Extra Life does here at Tiltify. Goodbye, chats.
Bye,
Farewell.
friends. Thank you so
You're
much.
amazing.